This video is made to help you understand a little bit more about the 13 basic shapes of molecular geometry. The first shape, linear, consists of two charge clouds, two bonds, and no lone pairs around the central atom. Linear compounds have bond angles of 180 degrees. The second shape, trigonal planar, consists of three charge clouds, three bonds, and no lone pairs of electrons around the central atom. Compounds with trigonal planar geometry have 120-degree angled bonds. The third shape, bent, consists of three charge clouds, two bonds, and one pair of lone electrons around the central atom. A bent compound with one pair of lone electrons has a bond angle of 120 degrees. The fourth shape, tetrahedral, consists of four charge clouds, four bonds, and no lone pairs of electrons around the central atom. Compounds with tetrahedral geometry experience 109.5 degree angled bonds. The next shape is trigonal pyramidal. This consists of four charge clouds, three bonds, and one pair of lone electrons around the central atom. In this shape, all bond angles equal 107.3 degrees. The sixth shape is bent, this time with four charge clouds, two bonds, and two lone electron pairs around the central atom. The bent shape with two pair of lone electrons has a bond angle of 104.5 degrees. The seventh shape is trigonal bipyramidal. There are five charge clouds, five bonds, and no lone pairs of electrons found around the central atom. Trigonal bipyramidal geometry experiences bond angles of 90 degrees and 120 degrees. The next shape is seesaw. This consists of five charge clouds, four bonds, and one pair of lone electrons found around the central atom. Seesaw geometry experiences both 90-degree bond angles and 120-degree bond angles. The ninth shape is T-shaped. This consists of five charge clouds, three bonds, and two pair of lone electrons found around the central atom. This shape has 90-degree bond angles. With the 10th shape, we're back to a linear geometry. There are five charge clouds, only two bonds, and three pair of lone electrons found around the central atom. This linear geometry still has a bond angle of 180 degrees. The octahedral shape has six charge clouds, six bonds, and no lone pairs of electrons found around the central atom. The octahedral shape has all bond angles equaling 90 degrees. The 12th shape is square pyramidal. This consists of six charge clouds, five bonds, and one pair of lone electrons found around the central atom. Square pyramidal is another shape where all bond angles equal 90 degrees. Our 13th and final shape is square planar. This consists of six charge clouds, four bonds, and two pair of lone electrons found around the central atom. The square planar shape has all bond angles equaling 90 degrees. Now we're going to look at some examples and try to relate this idea. From looking at the Lewis structure for a water molecule, you can see two bonds and two lone pair of electrons. This shows us that the structure is bent. When looking at the Lewis structure for an ammonia molecule, you see three bonds and only one pair of lone electrons. This tells us that the shape is trigonal pyramidal. In this Lewis structure, there is one xenon and two fluorines. There are two bonds, and the xenon atom has three pair of lone electrons. This tells us that the shape is linear.